No,
I don't know any conspiracy theory. You think we went to the moon though?
Yeah.
he's got the joke that I won't let him give up about the moon
Actually,
landing.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay.
Because
Oh, that's a great joke.
yeah,
Yeah, right?
Literally, EJ Straw is the only reason I keep doing that moon landing bit, because every time I do it, it never works the way I want it to.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
on 2 separate occasions, I've gotten off stage at shows, and you've been like, dude, keep doing that joke. I love it.
It's funny.
So thank you for that.
I love it. It's a good. Has it crushed before or no? Because I've only seen you do it twice at a show.
I've seen it work.
Yeah, it's worked like a handful of times. But never like, you have a joke where like you love it. You're like, this is hilarious. People should understand this, and it doesn't really, even if it like does well, it's not like as well as you think it should go. That's the moon landing joke for me.
Right.
It should get a better response, but like nobody appreciates it.
Right. Yeah. I like it because it's like very like silly, kind of absurdist, which I like. That's kind of that's like my favorite style actually of humor. It's like when shit is just kind of like absurdist and like, I don't know.
I don't like when people get too serious. Like there's some comics I've seen who they're very like political and they try to get like really serious. Try to make funny out of like really serious. But I'm just like, that's not. I just like silly.
Yeah.
And you do too, I've noticed.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, silly's great because it's like we're all just trying to laugh. It's like I'm not a big like, we're here to solve the world's problems or like social commentary. It's like just funny first.
We're not speaking truth to power.
Yeah,
here, guys, come on.
Yeah,
I like really silly humor.
Yeah,
like kid jokes. You know what I mean? Like shit an 8-year-old would think of.
Well, it is the thing is like low hanging fruit jokes. Shout out Dante, show with a flashback. Yeah, he just got a royalty off of that. Me saying that phrase, but like those are like the funniest, like the most low hanging joke. Like in like you're saying, little kid jokes that aren't super clever. Like a lot of times that is like the funniest thing. Yeah. Like it's like that's the essence of being funny. It's like we're all trying to be super sophisticated and clever, but sometimes the easy shit is funny.
Yeah, no, I've never tried to be clever.
No, but the thing is, that's your whole thing. Like
you're clever on accident.
Well, it's on purpose.
Purpose.
It's on purpose, but it comes off as accident.
Yeah.
There's some clever things in there, but it's still from the mind of a 7th grader.
That's what it is. I think is like the perspective or like the. Are we saying you have the perspective of a 7-year-old? Is that what we're just saying?
The 7th grader.
Oh, 7th grader.
Like a lot of my humor is like 2 7th graders talking together.
Right.
Like being silly.
Which is like, that's awesome.
It's that is silly animals.
Yes.
And then
like 2 12-year-old kids would be like, dude, why are there eels and electric eels?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Definitely.
Dude?
Yes.
Definitely. And that's what makes me laugh.
Yes.
Is that shit.
Me too.
I'm trying to make myself laugh up there as well. Like I'm not this intellect. This fucking I'm better than you. I'm so clever.
Yeah, I have nothing to say up there that's gonna like move the minds of nations. No. It's all just dumb thoughts.
Yeah.
All that just 24/7.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like you sometimes have like points a little bit. Like
absolutely.
What's the because you're like a critic of things. You're up there kind of criticizing things like in a good way and like like what's the deal with this thing? Like fuck it. Like why is it like this?
That's actually my whole act is what the fuck is this? That's it. That's all I do.
Like so you have like a point to what you're saying. I think which is good too. Like it's sometimes it's refreshing to have a point. It's like I'm saying something. Yeah.
Your whole act is like. Something you're like this isn't the way it should happen, and then just swap out the item or scenario.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's incorrect. Why is it like this?
Right.
It should be like this.
Yeah.
It's like roasting objects or scenarios.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about like figuring out a bit? Like what happens in your life where you're like that? I need to make that a bit. I need to take that on stage.
I think I just randomly will have like a thought. Like I don't sit down and write. Like I just randomly will have a thought of like, like the other day, like someone was like telling me that they're like spiritual but not religious. They use that phrase, which is a corny phrase.
Did you hit him in the face afterwards?
Super cheesy. But then I just thought, like, as they were saying that, I'm like, oh, like, what if someone was like religious but not spiritual?
Yeah.
Like, they only believed in the rules, but they didn't believe in God,
That's
you know?
good.
And so I write it down in my notes app, and then, like, later I'll, like, think about, like, how do I structure that joke into, like, a, setup, punchline thing.
You don't
but it's
sit
like,
down, though, and write? Because you're very
I will
put together.
I don't sit down to come up with an idea. If I have an idea, I will write some stuff in my notes app, like the idea of why it's funny, but I don't have like the, setup and punchline yet. And then like usually like in the shower, I write a lot. Like I'll think about like how I'll try to like talk through it. Like how would it be? What's the formula? It's pretty like comedy. We hate to admit it, but like it's pretty formulaic to a degree.
Totally.
So it's like, how do I mathematically construct this where it's, the right words for this situation, and then just, write down some ideas. I usually have like an idea of the setup and punchline, try it out at a mic, tweak it. It's not like I don't have a unique like process at all. Like I feel like it's most people.
That's what most people are doing these days.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I write down the keywords. I try it on stage, and then try it a bunch of times until it works.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I mean, with that said, like I've never gone up. Like there's people that I just do not have the confidence for this, or I think the comedic chops at this point to like go up with just like a singular word or like idea, but not like they don't have a joke written yet. They just have like a word written. They'll just go up there and try to like riff it in live time at a mic and like come up with writing on stage.
Yeah.
Like I've wrote on stage before where I come up with like a tag, but I've never like just gone up there with like I have nothing. I just have the concept and I'm gonna like create a joke on stage. That would like terrify me even at a mic.
You'd be good at it if you work on it.
You do that?
That's all I do.
I think you should give it a definite shot.
Definitely.
Because like I just cracked that, but coming from that same angle, I was like, that's insane. That's an insane thing to do. Just go up on a stage like with nothing written down. But if you just do it, it like forces something to happen, and then once you listen back to it, you're like, oh, there's actually something here.
Yeah.
I've gone
It's
up
kind of like jumping off a cliff.
Right.
With a parachute, I guess, but you just gotta like do it.
Okay, gotcha.
I'd encourage you to do it. Dude.
Okay, yeah, no,
You're really
that's
good at
appreciated. The only time I've done it before where it's like I go up with no material, but I'll just like riff, like try to riff off of like what's happened or like random stuff, but never with the idea of like here is a bit idea that I'm gonna create on stage. Like I've gone up without material, but it's always been like I'm just gonna riff on what's going on. I'm not trying to write a joke right now.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think I should.
Riffing
like,
is no different than doing a joke. You're just riffing on the subject you wrote down. Like if you go up, if someone.
Yeah, I know, but I've only done that twice too.
Right
yeah.
You should do it more often. I think you
yeah.
in particular would be really good at it.
All right.
Yeah, if someone comic in the room was talking about dogs, and then you go up and you riff on dogs,
right?
Then you just look at your thing about, couches.
Why is there peanut butter on these notes? What the hell?
You look and you're like couches, and you're riffing on the subject that you brought up there. You know
Right. Yeah. That's true.
That's all I do. Like the minute when he called me up for the minute, I had no idea what I don't remember what I said, but there was nothing prepared.
You did a great job at the roast, at Nick's roast.
Yeah, that wasn't prepared.
Yeah, I know. And what you called out what needed to be called out, which is you're not for context, Nick Dervasila had a birthday roast of sorts, which was awesome. And
so fun, dude.
Like one of the most fun I've had in a while. And it was great. It was a great environment. But you called out the fact you're not important enough to have this. like
you put this together.
Yeah. Which was like it was funny. It was like
Well, and I didn't write anything down like prepare for the roast, but I had a vibe of the room, and I had that thought. It's not like I came up with that on stage. You know what I mean? But I was in the crowd thinking, it's weird. You're not important enough for this to be happening. So I guess you could say like I went up there with the thought of something, but I didn't know how it was going to go, and I just said it, and then it got a laugh, so then I ran with it.
Right.
And so that was all improvised.
Yeah. That was great.
Saying the thing that everyone's thinking. I don't think I was the first to think that.
No, I thought of it earlier. I just couldn't think of a funny way to phrase it.
But no one said it. You know what I mean? I look for all those little moments.
Yeah.
Like what's the thing? I feel like everyone thought that.
Yeah.
But no one said it.
No, when I was driving there, I was trying to. I wrote like a joke, like before I headed there, and then I'm like, I got to come up with like a couple more. So I'm like
Yeah.
trying to, and I thought of that, like the fact that we're even doing a roast is like really
For Nick
like
D.
try to make like a narcissism joke or something.
Yeah.
And then, but I just couldn't think of a funny way to phrase it. But then you just stating it is the funniest way to
That's
do
it.
it.
There's no,
Just
you don't
like,
have
why
to,
are we
there
doing-
doesn't have to be a joke about it.
Like, why are we just, why are we doing
saying
this?
the damn thing.
Yeah.
And being as you as possible. Like, no, because sometimes stand-ups can get too stand-up comedy guy. Like I'll be watching a guy up on stage, and I'm like, he's like being a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
Instead of being, Josh
Right.
on stage
Right.
guy or whatever.
He's speaking in the cadence and the tone of what he's seen a stand-up do on like a clip. Yeah.
I'm not seeing, Mark. I'm seeing just a comedian.
Right.
Another comedian.
Right. Yep. That's a great point.
I did all that shit when I started out.
Oh, I'm
very-
still doing it, I'm sure. It's like no, seriously, yeah. It's like but yeah, you can't recognize it in yourself as easily as you can recognize in someone else's up there. It's like, oh yeah.
No, you got to be as you as possible, even if that results in you bombing. Sometimes you get a bomb.
Yeah.
You get a bomb with your own personal thoughts. Like, I would overanalyze how I'm standing. And my hand is weird. But move your hand. Oh no, that's too weird. Put it here.
Yeah.
But you gotta forget about all that shit.
Yeah.
And then just completely be 100% on stage.
Right. Yeah.
It's weird.
You got is this a new thing where you're like, you have the mic in the stand and you kind of like move it around? I like that.
That's a new thing. Yeah.
I like that because I don't see that much where it's like.
Yeah, I like the
You're gonna-
mic in the stand. That's pretty new.
But you're not just stand. You're like moving the stand itself.
I got one foot on the, and I'm just kind of putting this together now that I have been doing that. I haven't really thought about it, but yeah, I've been putting a foot on the bottom of the stool or the stand, and then just sort of like talking like this.
Yeah.
And then moving. I like a grounding. It feels like I'm grounded a little bit,
I know.
where I'm like safe.
Yeah.
Almost like I'm hiding behind the
The mic
actual
stand?
stand. Like if I'm holding it and grounded, I'm safe.
Yeah.
So, because I would always take the mic out of the stand, but I noticed I don't know what to do with my left hand.
That's the spot I'm in right now. I'm like, I'm using my hands so much that
and then when I'm not
moving,
moving it, I'm like fidgeting.
yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
moving it too much.
I got over that real quick. I just take it out and I hold it in my left hand like this.
Yeah,
the
That's it.
left hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. It's like if you do it the same way every single time, you're not gonna think about it. You're not gonna have any like anxiety about it. Every time I go up, pop it off, left hand, mic stand. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
You
holding.
go mic stand all the way down too.
Yes, I like that. I love a down mic stand. 'Cause
Yeah, that's an alpha move, man.
It gives me something to lean on.
Establish your dominance.
It gives me something to go like, you know what?
None of y'all thought of this.
Yeah, and I'm stirring it around,
Yeah,
like I'm thinking of something, and really it's just anxiety.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
going in a circle, like I don't know what to do with this
Yeah.
thing, but this thing is here. But
Yeah.
It's all just nervous energy.
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Needs to go somewhere.
I'm so I'm nervous right now.
Yeah?
I'm just nervous always.
Well, it's your first podcast.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, that plays a role. I'm just a nervous guy. Like, I'm a very nervous guy. So when I go on stage, it's like I feel the same. Like, I feel less nervous than I did in the beginning, but it's like I still feel really nervous. Like,
What do you think that comes from? Not to get therapy on you.
I
But
think I'm just I'm just anxious. I'm just like having, and like I definitely feel more comfortable than I did when I first started, but it's like, it's not like I feel like I talk to some people that it's like they act like they can just go up there and they feel nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, my heart's beating fast. But
I don't
know.
think those people though that walk up there and they're just like, I'll just walk up there and with no idea and just They're nervous. They're
Yeah.
better at hiding it.
Yeah.
I'm that way. I'm pretty good at hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Or not hiding. I'm not faking it. It's real, but it's like I can deal with it better than other people.
Yeah.
They are still nervous. Those people you see who, oh my God, they're so confident. They're not as confident as you think they are.
Right.
They're just better. They just dealt with it earlier or in a some weird way later.
It's all about faking confidence.
What do you do? What do you do to deal with the anxiety for going on stage?
A couple bars of Xanax? No, I don't know.
A couple of CDs.
I got a few drinks before I go on stage.
Do you always do a couple drinks? I'm inconsistent with that. Sometimes I have a couple drinks. I always am well caffeinated. I always have a Celsius. I always have an energy or some sort of energy drink like an hour before I go up, because that helps me perform better if I'm like well energized and caffeinated. And then sometimes I'll have a couple drinks, but sometimes like lately I haven't been like having anything to drink before besides the Celsius, and I'll just like, I don't know, just kind of like just sit with it and go over. Big thing for me is like going over my set like what bits I want to do and making sure that I know which bits I want to do in which order, not being like controlling what you can control. You can control which things you're going to do in which order. Make sure you have that down to a T. And then like, if it doesn't go well, it's like at least you did the work to be prepared. Like it's the worst feeling when you go up there and you're like, oh, what's my next bit? And then it's like, oh, you screwed up the thing you could have done well on, which is just being prepared on what material you're going to do.
Does it not make you jittery? Like like coffee or like Red Bull?
Yeah, but I'm already jittery, so who gives a fuck? Yeah, just
it makes me fucking jittery. And
I have a pretty high caffeine tolerance
anxious.
too. Yeah.
I don't drink coffee. Yeah, you drink coffee every morning.
Love coffee.
I can't. I don't like it.
Very black, dark coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
No sugar, no nothing.
Same. I drink just black coffee. Yeah, dark roast. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like the worst thing is being up there with feeling like you're low energy and you have to like channel energy. Like, especially because I'm not like a super animated guy on stage. Like, and so I have to force myself to be more animated. And so if I don't have like energy, like I'm screwed. So
yeah, but sometimes if you go up there and you're low energy, but you just like lean into it and you're just like, I'm just low energy today, and you do your shit kind of low energy, it works.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like it all goes back to like the not faking it thing. You're just when you go up on stage, however you are, that's how you are that night.
Right. Right. No, it's a good point. Like, low energy can be funny.
Absolutely.
But it because some people's whole act is like, I'm like the low, like their demeanor is low energy, and that in and of itself is funny. But that takes a certain, like, I don't know, you got to pull that off well. I don't know, man. We're really chopping it up about comedy here in the weeds.
Oh, I love it. That's all we do here, bro.
One of the best lessons I ever learned was actually watching Ryan. There was this guy that went up on stage before him, and I forget the circumstances of the day, but it doesn't really matter. But he was like, verbose, very, like rambunctious, very active on stage. And to address that energy, instead of trying to match it, Ryan just went up and he was like, all right, guys, I'm not that.
Yeah, that's
He's brought the whole room down. He's like, all right, I'm doing this now. Right? And he reset the entire room.
Yes.
And fucking killed.
Here's a new thing.
You have to address it, too. Yeah. If you just went into if it's so different, you're just going to your act, it's like, you got to address the fact that it's going to be so different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I learned that from trying that and bombing hard.
Yeah.
From going up and trying to be... I'm not a big energy guy, I think.
Yeah.
But
he has more energy than you, for sure.
Definitely.
In terms of, like, the comedic, like, stylings.
Yes, but it's an anger energy.
Yeah. No, for sure. But that's an energy.
It's being upset constantly. That's the whole energy. That's my entire act.
I think I also have low energy. I feel low energy. So if
you go up there and try to do high energy, which
No.
you're not, you don't know how to do it. It just you're bombing.
You have to know how to. Yeah, you have to be a guy that can do high energy. Yeah.
Everything I've learned from bombing. I've never done something like great and been like, oh, that was really learn that great lesson. Like, you learn it through fucking bad things happening.
Yeah.